and Michael Nielsen fetching immediately, which is a sign of a 1-drop. So now we're going to find out what variety of, in the next turn or two, what variety he is. Goblin Guide doesn't help us. It just is a great opening for him. So the real question is...
It's so brutal beating a Goblin Guide in the first turn. I don't think I've ever done it.
Oh,
I don't know.
It happens all the time. You know, like I've played a lot of turn 1 Goblin Guides, and people beat it all the time. So the question is, right? Is he Coldother red? Is he Sly? Is he Burn Deck?
Could even be Burrows.
That's true. He could be. But well, if we trust in the knowledge of our chat, we might be willing to believe that he is mono.
Yeah. The chat folks seem to think that he's mono red. So.
Yeah. Okay. There it is.
Yeah. The battlement's like really good for this spot.
Yep. And like Conley gets to control, right? Like, oh, maybe he is Boros.
He is Boros.
There we go. Conley gets to control whether or not that overgrown battlements is important or not. If it's not important, he can just throw it in the way and let his opponent have to kill it.
So he'll probably get a Sword of Body and Mind, which seems pretty good against Conley, right?
I don't like that play at all, though. Just the timing of it. What he should do is attack with the Goblin Guide before laying a land. His opponent then will probably, it depends on, again, it's Conley's choice, but oftentimes won't block. You get into 2 free damage, then you reveal the land, and then you follow up with your other play.
As somebody who plays with Battlement pretty often,
yeah,
I always block. So I feel like you're just giving them the Goblin Guide effect.
A lot of people, I attack with Goblin Guide a lot. I attack with Goblin Guide a lot. A lot of people don't block because they want to save their battlements. It's important whether or not the battlements actually is of value right now. We got Lotus Cobra going into 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. Is that correct?
He does have access to 4 mana.
Yeah, so he can cast a Jace here.
Yep. He might even just play a Tree Speaker and level it up.
That wouldn't be terrible. Spreading Seas.
Jace. He had the Jace.
Yep. Things look really ill for Michael right now.
I don't know about that. I think it might be a lot closer than we think it is.
That Lotus Cobra should die. Jace probably will die.
All on this turn?
All it takes is a burn spell, and that all happens.
Yeah. Like 1 bolt. 1
anything. It could be a burst, could be, you know...
I mean, Arc Trail, and then you get some extra damage. Although I don't think that hits Arc Trail. You never know. Arc Trail's really good. I've been playing it in my sideboards and extended.
Arc Trail, there it is.
Yeah.
1 and 2.
I've been really happy with Arc Trail in extended during the first couple weeks. I was really happy with it. So many people were playing Elves and that Necrotic Ooze deck. And it's just so good against both of them. You're like, Fauna Shaman, Bird. You know? Okay, you're right. This I was quite premature in talking about the game being as problematic as I was thinking it might be for a second. Probably might just play another Jace here.
Seems reasonable.
What land did he play?
He played a Halimar Depths.
I was just looking at the 3 cards right now with the Halimar Depths, or did he complete that process? Yep.
Go. We've got a leveled Tree Speaker. And now Michael Nielsen, if he draws a land, can put a Sword of Body and Mind on his Goblin Guide.
That guy beats pretty hard. For those of you wondering, Sword of Body and Mind costs 3 to cast and 2 to equip, but the Stoneforge Mystic's activated ability would allow him to put it into play for 2 mana, allowing him to be attacking with a turn early.
2 in hand?
Yep. You guys remember, Conley does have
4
the
acidic slimes
in his deck, which, like, when we talked to him, he actually said, I needed a way to beat Sword of Body and Mind.
He specifically cited Sword of Body and Mind as one of the reasons.
If I remember correctly, David Williams, during his deck tech at Worlds for this, like, a very similar version of this deck here, David Williams stated that he was having trouble beating Sword of Body and Mind, and Conley instructed him to put the acidic slimes on the sideboard. This deck was originally conceived by Michael Flores, writer for MagicGathering.com. All the writers on that website are absolutely brilliant, by the way.
Yeah, I can't think of one that's any.
I'd like to point that out.
We have the magic 6 mana mark, where he has 7 very powerful plays in the form of Titans. Oof. I'm going to get some Conley Gardens here, protect the fort.
I mean, they don't protect the fort that well when Sword of Body and Mind is...
Yep. The sword is going to be making it at least 4 more damage hitting.
And he gets a Wolfie. It's a Michael Pasque token. Michael has some interesting play options here for his turn. He has a Journey in his hand, so if he rips a white mana, his series of plays is very simple. He just equips the sword and gets to Journey the Titan.
Yep.
But if he doesn't draw another land here, he's got a pretty big choice between casting that or equipping that sword and casting that Journey there.
But he has it.
So he ripped the land. Journey gets cast, and then rips that sword. In they come.
Take block here, take 3, and then do it 8.
So, equipping the...
It's more interesting. Just less damage.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
And 11 is much different than 10, especially when you're, when you're bashing for 4/4, then you're playing Arc Trails.
I mean, I think the thought, right, is that he wants to distribute where his damage is coming from. But the difference in this situation is that you aren't playing against... you're playing against a blue-green deck.
6. Yep.
What do we got there? Genesis Wave for how much? A lot. Well, we'll find out what happens.
6.
Oh, and a slime. Land and a slime.
Slime, 3 lands.
Okay.
Slime
Ton of
build
manas.
a sword.
Yep.
Make 6.
I don't know if he has anything in his hand to make use of that.
He could Regenesis Wave.
Oh yeah, he could Regenesis Wave like a monster.
I mean, he can play his whole hand right now.
Yep. Floating 1 blue, 1 green. Yep. I will brainstorm.
Yep. Those Cobras make a lot of mana. They use another slime now too. So he only has 1 white source. You can pick that off.
I play a land this turn already.
It'd be nice if we could pick up all the red sources, but that's not.
I did. I think I did at the beginning. Take it to 9. I'm pretty sure I did.
No, 7.
Yes. I'll make green, so 3 green and a blue.
See what happens here. Conley's in a precarious place here. 8
Yeah.
life is not a very safe place when you're playing against a red deck.
Well, because it's red-white, the amount of burn that this deck is likely to have is much less. At most, it will probably be like 3 burst, 4 bolt, 4 arc trail. I'd be willing to bet it's less than that, though.
Oh, it's got to be less than that, but I mean, still.
God, look at this.
Getting fun.
Green.
Now, if there's another Sword of Body and Mind in the deck and in hand, that would actually be a pretty devastating moment. Be able to get his opponent down to 3.
Does Conley still have that Jason play?
It might be off board. I mean, he's got so much in play that it could be
Good.
just off.
the side?
Yeah.
Never move that
That's a good
Jace too
turn.
far to the side. If you forget about that, that's pretty bad.
Turn around there.
I mean, that's how wave works in this deck. That is, like, it may seem like that was absurd, but that was actually just an everyday wave.
It wasn't actually that crazy of a wave. It was like
He could have hit multiple Frost Titans. He could have. How nice would it be to wave into an Eternal Witness?
Is that Legacy?
Let's do it.
I do like brewing with you.
Sure.
You're at 7.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Two-headed giant players, your pairings are posted. Two-headed giant players, your pairings are posted on the events screen over here by the events registration table.
Now remember, his opponent could be Michael Nielsen's opponent, Conley, could be at 6 life right now, which we'll see if that ends up being relevant.
Wow. 5 totals. Is that what you want? Conley 7, Mike 8.
Spike Shot Elder. I'm excited that Spike Shot Elder's seeing Destructive play.
It's a good
I
card.
was hoping he would when I first saw him.
Okay. Right now, this is Adrian Sullivan, and I'm here with Jacob Van Lunen at Star City Games Live, bringing you coverage of the Kansas City Standard Open Series. And we're watching the 5th round matchup here between Conley Woods playing blue-green Genesis Wave and Michael Nielsen playing a Boros deck. We've already gotten to that point in the match where the Wave deck has shifted towards aggression.
Yes.
It's brought down pretty low, though, by the initial wave that Michael Nielsen brought. And he's still in the game. It's just not looking very good for him. I mean, all it would really take is a burn spell, like, say, 2 lightning bolts, and that would get him there. Now that spreading seas is actually really devastating.
Sure. 6.
If he can get another spreading seas or an acidic slime, then the 2-bolt plan won't get him out. And that is an acidic slime. So now he needs a... Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Good.
He needs a mountain and 2 bolts now.
1 is 10.
Pardon me. 2 mountains. That Frost Titan is just a
I had
monster.
4 left in my deck. You didn't mill any.
Conley 7, Mike 3.
Okay, so looking at
3 each. No, I'm at 6.
where we're at with the match, Conley Woods just has a slew of stuff out there. He's basically 1 turn away from killing Michael Nielsen. And I can't see what Michael Nielsen's hand is, but it has to be a pair of bolts.
suppose.
Yeah, and not enough to get there.
Screwed up one turn. I forgot that Goblin Guy triggered if you attack my token.
You see how close that was? Well, that
Yeah.
Genesis wave.
Well, no, that's why I kept going, because I knew I needed a Genesis Wave, but, like, I forgot that if Goblin Guy, if I know Goblin Guy triggers, I just instead of putting a Jace on top.
Now Conley is looking pretty characteristically comfortable and calm in this match, and I know that he had spoken very specifically about the exact card that he faced, sort of Body and Mind, as one of the big reasons why he ended up putting in acidic slimes into the main of this version of Genesis Wave. Another thing to remember with Genesis Wave is that when he's packing Spreading Seas, Acidic Slime, Frost Titan, and Tectonic Edge all as 4-ofs, he really can get an aggressive mana denial draw. And in this case, it almost certainly knocked out the last hopes that Michael Nielsen had of being able to get out, where at one point all he really needed to do was have like one bolt of one kind, and one, even an Arc Trail would get there. Suddenly he was in a position where he had to have Bolt, Mountain out of a total of 3 cards. So his options to get out were pretty small.
Do we know how many Baloths Conley had on his board? Do you remember?
No idea. That's 1-0 Conley Woods over Michael Nielsen.
Michael Nielsen is, of course, in this feature match because he is famous as the son of Leslie Nielsen, famous actor.
Our condolences. But perhaps more appropriately, he is the runner-up this year for the Kansas State Championship. So
He is also battling with Red.
yeah, a local hero. Now, if I'm Michael and I'm playing a Boros deck,
I like that choice for this tournament.
it's interesting. Like, in this matchup, he has marks, which he should probably bring in, but he also wants to make sure that he keeps his game aggressive enough for those marks to be a threat for a kill. So, I'm guessing if he has the Squadron Hawk package, it's probable that that package might come out, just being too slow. He might not be running a Squadron Hawk package, but most of the Boros decks I've been seeing lately are Squadron Hawk decks.
I like Squadron Hawks.
Yeah.
I think the threat of having Squadron Hawk when you're Stoneforge misting for adventuring gear is just very strong. You basically have like an endless stream of plated GPs
Yeah. And
with flying.
I think in this matchup, it's just not particularly exciting. It's just too slow of a clock. Spending a lot of effort to get a couple of guys in the air.
It's great.
Yeah. He might have.
When you're fighting Grave Titans, though.
What do you think of the possibility of Basilisk Collar as a potential Elder card to put on your Spike Shot Elder?
I mean, that seems like it could be like a very reasonable like choice. At this point, though, you're.
So I did all my
I
rolling
can't see
trains.
Conley keeping in the Cobras. I also like am not sure about the Tree Speakers. I don't know how much he really decided in its place, and he has to stay somewhat aggressive.
Right. Because, I mean, as an aggressive card, Spike Shot Elder is not great. So, I mean, Elder is another card that could go. And if Elder goes, then something like a Collar also seems like it's not likely to be brought in.
Yeah.
Even though Elder Collar is a great answer to the big giants.
It is. And the thing about Conley's deck, though, is when Conley's deck does what it wants to do, it's not just one big giant thing. But Michael's deck has what you want to prevent Conley's deck from doing what it wants to do.
I think we both walk in through. I have 0 teams. Probably. He has 1 drop that kills
Yeah,
me.
like I think what you want your deck to be like is you want your deck to be as aggressive as possible. So anything that makes you take your time up, like Spike Shot Elder, like the Squadron Hawks, unless they're putting on a really relevant clock, I would be surprised if he still has those cards, if he has that much to bring in even. He might not have very much to bring in. It looks like he's also mulliganing his first hand.
See that hand? Yeah.
I'm really hoping Conley does well here. It'd be interesting to see him if he picks up a lot of points here. Then I could see Conley chasing the Star City Games tournaments quite a bit.
I mean, it's just starting
It'd be exciting
essentially
to see,
just right now. This is the beginning of a new race.
Yeah, and I'd love to see a player like him going to all the
Oh
events.
my God! And I think that one of those things, once you have a player like Conley coming into a lot of the events, one of the other things that comes out of it is, I think there's an incentive, because of the way that Magic is such a social game. If you know that your friends are going to be showing up, you can show up, and then so from there you can have other players that are some of the big names showing up at these. We already have quite a few people that are here that are really surprisingly big names. I think, you know, when we're talking about, you know, Jerry Thompson, or if we're talking about, like, I'll say Michael Jacob as some of the bigger names. I wouldn't have expected Michael Jacob to be here at this event, but he came down, I believe, from Michigan for it.
Pretty long drive. It's got to be like 8 hours.
Yeah, he milled like 2 more
We're told
hours.
that we're told that he sprouted wings and flew, but either way,
What's an airplane? Are we talking about like the future? What year is this?
That's right.
Sure.
what he's hoping for here is a Goblin Guide opening, and there it is. Now remember, this was a Goblin Guide opening last game. Conley was on the play last game, and actually,
play is much different than Conley.
yeah, I mean, I think he actually probably would have won the game if he hadn't been, if Michael had been on the play. I think his draw would have been aggressive enough to win that.
Almost certainly.
Oh, double Goblin Guide. That is devastating. That second card that is revealed, is that an Obstinate Bailoff? He gets a land and an Obstinate Bailoff?
Yep.
And is Michael out of land? He's just got the 2. And there's a Ratchet Bomb. Okay, you need a land here and a plated Geopede. That's what you need. And there's a Halimar Depths. There's a Tectonic Edge.
Oh, wow.
Bargain bin.
And land creature or probable GG.
Things? Wow.
Oh, wow. I will predict it's over.
As will I.
I mean, there is the possibility that he could just burn him out. I mean, I can't see his hand well enough to tell if that is in the cards, but
It seems unlikely. He has to have a lot of bolts in his hand to burn him out from this spot.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I mean, saying I'm just trying to find a path.
Yeah.
That's all you can do is try to find that path. And I bet you that there's the possibility of a slime or a cease.
Yeah, he would have to have more than 4 bolts because there's an Obstinate Bailoff going down this turn, right? Or does he not have the second green?
He has the second green. He casts an
that's the
overgrown
battlement,
battlement.
right?
Yeah, the battlement's there. Jason Stead. I'm fine with that play at this life.
So am I.
Oh yeah, burying most likely a land.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I would be unsurprised if Michael's deck only has 22 or 23 land.
Go ahead.
It's not unreasonable. There was a time when an aggressive deck like Michael's would probably have anywhere from 19 to 21 lands, and things have changed. The game has definitely progressed in a way.
Yep.
But lands also do things now. Lands are spells these days, so
This is true. Oh, Doctor. Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Conley takes down a
My hand at
very
the end of
difficult
that game
matchup.
was the first game I had an Arc Trail and a Goblin Guide,
Yeah.
so I think I might have been able to kill you if you didn't get the slime and cross-eye.
Conley Woods, king of the wild frontier.